Mr. Bill Wallace's story, J. Ward's oldest inmate. Many famous inmates were housed in J. Ward Prison for the criminally insane. J. Ward was built in 1859 and opened in 1861 as the Ararat County Gaol, a goldfields prison where 3 men were hanged and buried in the courtyard. It was purchased by the Lunacy Department in 1886 as a section of Aradale Lunatic Asylum and remained as J. Ward. It was served as a criminally insane prison housing the most mentally disturbed and dangerous men in Victoria until 1991 when it was closed. Mr. Bill Wallace was one of these men. Bill Wallace was accused of murdering a man in a Melbourne cafe in 1926. The man walked into a Waterloo cafe on King Street and sat down to smoke a cigarette. Smoking was a normal part of life back then, and people could smoke pretty much whatever they wanted. Wallace, who despised smoking at that time, advised him to put it out. Wallace waited for him outside on the street and shot him after he refused. A nearby police officer heard the shot and ran to the crime scene where he arrested Wallace. He refused to answer questions or discuss the crime. Wallace, on the other hand, refused to speak to the doctors and was never released. He spent the rest of his life in a mental institution. He spent 57 years at J. Ward and 7 years at Aradale before dying at the age of 108. It is believed that he had a wife and children at the time, and that he may have made arrangements with underworld figures to take care of them. But Wallace never mentioned them again. Wallace lived in Cell 1, the first cell on the right side of the wing. Wallace, ironically, was one of the heaviest smokers in J. Ward. He enjoyed smoking government-issued tobacco, which came in 50-pound blocks. He spent his days in J. Ward Content and considered it his home. He preferred to be addressed as Mr. Wallace and was said to be a gentleman at all times. He always wore a suit, and the staff measured him every year for his annual suit fitting. He got his suits from a shop in Ararat called Foster's. Do not be fooled by his appearance. If provoked, Mr. Wallace is said to be fully capable of kicking one's head off. He was capable of becoming violent even at the age of 100. Inmates were eating dinner one night in the dining hall. While reaching across the table, one inmate asked Mr. Wallace if he wanted to eat the last slice of bread on his plate. In response, he took up a fork and stabbed into the inmate's hand. He didn't seem to want to share his bread. J. Ward employees surprised him with chess set for his 100th birthday. He enjoyed playing chess. The chessboard is still displayed in the J. Ward Museum. The general public learned of a 100-year-old inmate at J. Ward and quickly petitioned for his release. They wanted to prove his innocence because he never appeared in court. After 3 years, the government agreed to release him with one condition. Mr. Wallace refused to leave, saying, "Don't be f***ing silly, I live here," he said. In reality, Mr. Wallace had been there for nearly 60 years. What would he do? What kind of life could he possibly lead? He was eventually transferred to Aradale Lunatic Asylum's geriatric ward, which was J. Ward's sister, where he died at the age of 107, just 1 month shy of his 108th birthday.
Thank you everyone for watching. Hope you enjoyed today's facts. That's the end of today's video. Please do remember to like, subscribe, comment, and to turn on the notification bell because at iMind Studios, the adventure never ends.